me find me a white man so that I can have some light-skinned babies.
Dark skin does not mean less worthy, does not mean less attractive, does not mean less anything. If you think that, there's something wrong with you. I am the Mademoiselle, and this is my channel. And today we are going to be talking about the history of colorism. Now, essentially, colorism is the discrimination based on one's skin tone. Typically, dark-skinned people. However, personally, I've said this forever, and people get so upset about me saying it, but I said what I said, I meant what I said, and I'll say it again. I genuinely believe anyone can experience colorism in their own right, and everyone has their own set of issues, and everyone's issue should be regarded as an independent issue by itself. I don't believe in people like, oh,
dark skins get it worse.
We already know that. I feel like that really is common sense. I really hate the idea of people trying to say, oh, well, light skins did it worse. Like, bitch, at that point, you can't say that. But I do feel like light skinned people have their own special set of issues. Mixed people, Asians, whatever. They all have their own set of issues in terms of colorism and other social issues in the world. And all of those should be treated with the same respect and urgency as everyone else's. I feel like a lot of us end up being trapped in the whole woe is me, well, this is about me and nobody else has it worse than me, and we forget that other people go through shit too, if not similar, clearly not the same, but similar, and we need to listen to one another. And also comment down below, have you experienced colorism? What was your experience? How did it affect you, and how have you dealt with it? And honestly, most importantly, if you're okay with sharing this, have you actually moved past it? If you have, please share how you have down in the comment section below, because colorism affects so many people and it's extremely hurtful to the point where a lot of people are really not able to move past it. So please leave any advice down below. Let's lay some ground rules, because I already know I have to say this, even though a lot of this should be common sense. One, when I say mixed, we're talking about people with predominantly white and black ancestry. Two, there will be no disrespect of any kind. I do not, nor do my moderators, condone any type of disrespect of any kind towards anyone of any race or any skin tone. So be blocked or reported if you want to, because we ain't got time for that. All of this is general. If it don't apply, let it fly. However, if you're gonna sit there and let people discriminate people and you know that they're your kind, okay, if you are light skinned and you're letting your light-skinned friends disrespect dark-skinned people, and then you won't come over here talk about some, well, if you see that shit and you don't say nothing, you're just as bad and you're part of the motherfucking problem. So, bitch, go tell your friends, go tell your homies, don't try it. And dark skins, y'all not off the hook either. So let's just get that clear. This does not give any grounds to any dark skins in the comment section to berate or disrespect light skinned people either. 4, have respectful dialogue. It's not that damn hard. 5, make sure you smash that subscribe button, smash that like button, smash every button you know that can help us sister out. Get that media hustle planner if you want to be a YouTuber, okay? Developed it myself. And yes, I do use my own product. Now go follow me on Instagram, because I'll be making announcements and asking y'all questions and stuff like that. Okay, I'll be doing that. And a lot of y'all be missing it and y'all act like y'all don't know about it. And it's like, it's y'all not following me on Instagram. Too many of y'all not following me. Like, what the fuck is going on? If you are new here, or if you haven't seen me since I've been back from my break, we are going to be doing predominantly black related content this month. Of course, there's going to be some other stuff, and I'm also spending my time promoting a lot of dedicated black businesses. I was asking for people to send me their business proposals so I can do a very cheap promotion this month, and this video is sponsored by Exotic Butterflies. Now, I know what y'all thinking, exotic. I don't make that type of content here, okay? We don't take those type of sponsors, but the money be good, and maybe I should start. I got kids watching me. I gotta be respectful to the kids. I already curse a lot. I can't be taking those type of sponsors. But Exotic Butterflies is indeed a boutique. They have clothes, accessories, and yes, this lovely sweater that I'm wearing is from them. It's like a dress sweater thing. It's super cute, and y'all, I'm gonna wear this on Valentine's Day again. Like, I'm gonna wash this after I'm done filming and then wear it on Valentine's Day, because this is a look. This is a vibe. Not only did I get the sweater, did I get the earrings, did I get the little necklace, we got the bag. We got the, excuse me? Hello, I'm gonna be taking bitches niggas even though I got a nigga. Please don't tell my fucking nigga because you know you be acting like this too. Okay, listen, this is a vibe. This is a look. This is just so cute. Like, I love it, okay? I really love it. And then she also sent me this headband. Honestly, I've always wanted one of these, but I feel like it just doesn't really go with this, right? I feel like she just threw this in and I'm very happy. It's like she read my mind, right? I feel like she was like, yo, I know the Mademoiselle really wants one of these, so I'm gonna throw this in a package. She read my mind, so I'm so happy I have one of these. Now I feel like an Instagram baddie because all the Instagram bitches got one. And I'm like, I want one. I really do. So listen, before y'all go shop on Shein, Rainbow, because you already know we still go shop there, what's good, make sure you guys support your black businesses, okay? Your local businesses, your small businesses. Listen, sis even threw a lollipop in the package. Like, is this like the definition of black privilege? Like, listen, I'm very happy right now because I love me some candy, even though I'm not supposed to eat it. And I'm trying to like watch my life, but this company is called like Exotic Butterflies and I'm sitting here like eating a lollipop. This does not help. Like, this really does not help. But this is so good. I love People Pops. Comment down below what's your favorite candy. But most importantly, make sure you guys head to Exotic Butterflies website, buy something. Even if you can't afford something right now, just share the page, give them a follow, give them a like, show them that you support them because it's very, very important, especially during Black History Month. Very important for us to support one another and show that we stand together in solidarity. Okay, I can't eat this while I'm making a video, right? Now let's get into the history of colorism. Now we're going to be predominantly talking about this in the United States for this video. Comment down below if you want a part 2. And if this video gets a good enough response, we're going to touch on colorism around the world and how it's seen. So I'm gonna give you a little quick synopsis on what the difference is because a lot of people forget that colorism is not just an American thing, it's a very worldwide concept. However, it is perceived very differently and seen differently in other places. In other countries, colorism is more so based in class. So it's more of a colorism, classism situation. I'm not even gonna be specific because it's different for every place, but the general consensus on a national scale for a lot of other countries is light skin equates to wealth. Since you're light skinned, that means you have money. Since you're light skinned, that means you're educated. Since you're light skinned, that means that you most likely have it better than me. And if I date you, my life is gonna be better. You know, if we're friends, that means I'm gonna have more opportunities. Like, that's how a lot of them think about it on the outside spectrum. This is how it is mostly in Haiti, specifically because Haiti is like 90+% black. Not that there's no white people, but it's extremely minute. And even the white people that are in Haiti do not try to act like they're better than anyone. And most of them will literally curse you out if you even try to call them like white. Like they'll be like, nigga, I'm fucking Haitian and what? Don't try to strip my Haitian from me. They will curse you the fuck out in Creole that you never thought you understood. Meanwhile, in the United States, it's more so of a, you just get preferential treatment. We don't look at light-skinned people and be like, oh, that bitch rich because she light-skinned. Meanwhile, in other countries, a lot of people are like, oh, they're lighter. That means they must be from a wealthy family. And if I were to make a part 2, that is most likely what that video would entail because a lot of people find it shocking. There are Asians, Indians, and a lot of other people that you would never think about that actually have a skin bleaching problem as well, but it's not as widely talked about. Essentially, we're going to be talking about colorism as it pertains to its beginnings in slavery. We all know a lot of slaves were brought from Africa to America, and there were dark-skinned slaves, light-skinned slaves, brown-skinned slaves, but most importantly, the darker-skinned slaves were usually kept outside. These were the slaves that were in the field. These were the ones doing most of the hard, heavy-duty work. Meanwhile, the light-skinned slaves stayed inside and did more of the servitude type of work in the house. Now, of course, they were preferred and they had preferential treatment because, of course, they were in the house. This is a house slave. This is where you get that whole connotation of people saying or making fun of people or using the reference of black people that don't like to get down with the code or people who like to speak against us in our issues. We usually call them house slaves, and this is reference to the slave times. Now, the reason this term is usually used is not only because they were giving preferential treatment, but the house slaves, I hate to say it, okay, and this is not a reflection of all light-skinned people. It really isn't. Like I said, please do not disrespect one another. And if anyone takes this wrong, I'm sorry, but that's not what I'm trying to say. Okay, y'all know when I say what I say, I mean it, and I ain't taking that shit back, but I'm not trying to say it the way it is. This is just fact. A lot of the light-skinned slaves would pander to the white people, okay? Since they saw that they were in the house, since they saw that they had an upper hand, since they were getting preferential treatment, anytime the darker skinned slaves or the other slaves working at other parts of the houses or whatever would try to revolt, or anytime they would, try to plan something, the light skinned slaves, and well, some even the dark skinned slaves, let's be real, sometimes would go and they would snitch, okay? So this is why, if you guys can remember that whole situation when Kanye West was sitting there like,
oh, slavery was a choice.
People were upset because it's like, it makes it seem like Black Americans and other slaves in other places of the world essentially never tried. And even with me being Haitian and Haiti being the first independent Black republic, Haiti failed numerous times across decades. I know we all know the whole grand story of, Haiti beat itself, Haiti took itself out of slavery. They were the first Black independent. They really were. However, there's a lot of things that go into it. It wasn't just independent, kicked out the white people. There's a lot of aspects. I've actually made a video about this on my second channel. Yes, I have a second channel. It's my Haitian-based channel. It will be linked down below. And I'm going to link the video because it's very, very interesting. I go more in depth about the Book One Rebellion. And even at that, there's more after that. What's very interesting is a lot of mixed people, even though they had so much more privileges, some of them were freed faster or freed easier. Some of them were able to own businesses and have land and stuff, but a lot of them weren't really able to do much with it. For example, in Haiti in particular, slavery had to be actually the worst. In the Caribbean period, slavery was the worst than it was in America, apparently, according to historians. Who knows? We weren't there. But essentially the mixed people, even though they were free, a lot of them were actually forced to partake in militia. When they became of age, I guess what we would be equivalent to 18, it would probably have been younger for them because back then life expectancy was horrible, especially with all the diseases and crazy shit they was doing. They would have to join the Machosus, which was like a national Haiti militia situation that would like catch the slaves and do all types of crazy shit to the slaves, punish the slaves. And this was like mandatory. Yes, like these mixed race, mixed people were forced to join the Machosis militia for 3 years, where they were literally forced to catch, apprehend, and punish the slaves. Let that sink in. Can we understand what type of ideology that would fuel in someone, especially being a slave, when you're saying, oh my God, you're half Black, you're half one of us. How can you do this to one of us? So when you think about it, all of it is fucked up everywhere, and every country has its own different set of issues. But to add insult to injury, after these 3 years were up, it wasn't done. At that point, they were forced to join the local militia, wherever town they were from, and they were forced to work without pay until they weren't needed anymore. So there was no contract. It was one of those, you have to do it and you're gonna do it for as long as we say. So there's a lot going on there, and they, like I said, they have their own special set of issues that genuinely should never be ignored. Humans are humans, and at the end of the day, half Black, a third of Black, whatever. Black to me will always be Black, and I will always have a sense of sympathy for everyone's issues. And that's just one example. That's just Haiti. Okay, there's lots of other examples of what mixed people had to go through in other countries. And as you can imagine, a lot of the dark-skinned slaves would sit there and be like, what the fuck? Like, they fucking shit up. At the end of the day, we're still Black, so I don't understand. We're all in the same situation. We are fucking slaves. So y'all need to get with the programs. We have a whole lot of situations of the light-skinned slaves being forced, okay, I don't want to say the word, but forced to have interactions with the masters, in other words, the R word, with the masters, and they ended up reproducing children with them. So at that point, we have mixed kids and mixed people and a whole bunch of jambalaya going on. Okay, I'm gonna say jambalaya because I feel like all of us might have a white parent, grandparent, white something in our past, but essentially we're gonna be talking about this a little bit in the video, but not too much. We're not gonna touch too much on the mixed race situation because that's a whole nother situation, whole nother conversation. However, please understand that just because someone's light skinned does not make them mixed. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. Just because someone's light skinned does not make them mixed, and just because someone's dark skinned does not make them Black. There's plenty of people who are not Black whatsoever who are dark skinned, and vice versa. There's plenty of people who are light skinned or even look white even that have a whole bunch of Black ancestry. Regardless of what the fact is, please do not disrespect any mixed people in the comment section either. However, we do have to touch on basis of the fact that a lot of mixed people were the same, if not worse, than a lot of the light skins, okay? Of course, there was also dry snitching and doing all this extra shit, and it did not work for them. And then mixed people that are black and white are black and white, but personally, I've always seen them as black. Like, I count them as black, and I also count them as white. There's a lot of people that are like, oh no, they're not black, they're mixed, and then they count mixed as a race. Mixed is not a race, okay? Mixed, it doesn't make logical sense. I feel like maybe they're only referring to black and white mixes, but then when you say mixed is a race, there's numerous of other mixes of people, and it kind of discounts the fact that there's numerous mixes of other people. So I don't understand why it is when someone's mixed with white and black, y'all are quick to be like, oh, they're mixed, they're not black. White people be like, oh, well, they're black, they're not white. Then there's that whole population of people that's like, oh, well, they're mixed. All of y'all ain't shit. They're whatever it is that they are, okay? They're multiple things. Not just black, they're not just white, they're not just Asian, they're not just Native American, they're not just Indian, they're mixed. Personally, I feel like it's only right to let them accept all parts of themselves equally instead of making them choose and forcing them into one box or creating a whole race for them that doesn't even make logical sense. Nonetheless, we all have our special set of issues that should be dealt with accordingly and 100% differently from each other. I really hate the whole conversation of,
Well, dark skins did this, y'all light skins didn't go through that. Well, us light skins went through this, but y'all mixed niggas ain't go through that, and y'all mixed niggas ain't go through this, but y'all...
I don't like it. It's very annoying and it causes further division. And I feel like the white people back in the day started the job and we carry out the job every day. They started it, we perpetuate it, and this is where we have colorism today, yesterday, and probably for the rest of our lives. Post-slavery happened and, you know, slaves went about their merry way. But a lot of the light-skinned slaves banded together, specifically because at this point they felt like they were kind of higher society. These were the lighter-skinned black people, as well as the ones with mixed heritage. Different names for people with mixed heritage in different times of the world, different eras and stuff like that. Like in Haiti, they were called the mulatto class, which can be seen as offensive, as well as the affranchi, which is how a lot of Haitians say it. In certain other places, they had different names. You know, so there's different names you can give them, but again, please don't be disrespectful in the comment section. But essentially, the mixed people and the light-skinned people kind of banded together because the light-skinned black people specifically were getting all the opportunities, they were getting all of the jobs, they were getting all of the special treatment. Of course, this creates a further divide, right? Because now we're at a time where we're post-slavery. We still remember slavery, and if we don't remember it, our parents or our grandparents went through it. We know this is what y'all did. Now y'all get in and y'all are literally reaping the benefits of your privilege, and then they're not acknowledging it. So on top of that, we had the brown paper bag test. Now the brown paper bag test was very, very discriminatory and disgusting. Now this was literally the act of one taking a brown paper bag and comparing one's skin tone to this brown paper bag. And this brown paper bag would determine if you were too dark or too light enough to hang with this certain group of people. Most of the time, the lighter skin, the mixed class, whatever the case may be. You know, it would determine, oh, are you too light or too dark to join this fraternity or sorority? Are you too light or too dark to even come to dinner? Are you too light or too dark to even hold this job? And of course, this was very, very hurtful and just extremely disgusting. And then of course we get into the skin bleaching, and then, you know, of course the texture and the hair discrimination and all of that extra stuff, which y'all better not come for my hair today because I need a retwist. I just washed my hair, but I love my hair right now. I'm starting to really embrace it, and y'all better not come for me because then I'm gonna have to come for y'all for texturism. Yes, that's the thing, texturism. Don't come for me. Comment down below if you lock gang. How long you had them, let me know. So you had the brown paper bag test. You had, of course, them getting all of those opportunities. You had them basically snitching, dry snitching, having kids with it was a lot going on, okay? So of course there was already a divide post-slavery, during slavery. So then of course we have the one drop rule. The one drop rule meant that any drop of black that you had, it don't matter if it was a grandparent, a parent, or whatever the case may be, that you were considered black. Now lately I've been seeing a lot of people are denouncing this, and it's funny because like when I tell people this in real life that aren't on the internet, they're like, what the fuck, since when were they not considered black? And honestly, if I didn't have this platform, I probably would not know their sentiments and when the fuck this shit happened. For as long as many people can remember, mixed people who were both black and white have always just been considered black because that's what they did. They divided us with slavery and divided us with everything else with that, okay? They brought us together with the one drop rule, but it's a whole lot of hoopla. So essentially it's one of those things where it's like, Oh, y'all, editing me here. Now, of course, I didn't forget, but I feel like I do have to add this in, even though for a lot of people it is common knowledge. We had the segregation era where literally if you were any drop of color, they grouped you in. And it's very interesting because this is where they divided us for real, for real. Often the stuff that was for the colored people was just nasty, disgusting, not up to par. And then, of course, there was the schools and all of this extra shit. So that's why for me, every single time I'd be like, you know what? This whole light skin, dark skin makes absolutely no fucking sense, because if you were seen as any type of black, you were gonna be thrown in the whole category of you nigga, okay? And that's how they see us. Nigga is nigga. It don't matter if you light skin, dark skin. They might treat you a little bit better, just a tad, but not as much for us to be having all of this animosity between ourselves. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Like, they divided us with the light skin and dark skin, but they grouped us all in with the segregation. That also brought on the whole situation of passing. If you guys are not aware, passing is essentially the act of acting like you are fully one race, going about in life as one skin tone or one race, unbeknownst to others, right? So if I am black and white and I just happen to look 100% white, I will lead my life as someone who is 100% white. And I've seen people do it the opposite way, and a lot of people actually come at light skins and mixed race people for this now, where they are white and black, but they look 100% black and they don't tell anyone that they're mixed. And a lot of people find this really offensive, while some people just feel like, you know, if I was raised in the black household, my parents, you know, weren't always together. Maybe I was raised predominantly by my black parents, so I always see myself as black. So that's always been a source of conflict as well. For the most part, we've always been together. We've always marched together. We've always done things together. From that point on, when that whole one drop rule became a thing. For the most part, of course, there were some outliers there. Okay, of course, there were some outliers, but for the most part, a lot of us, like, everybody did things together. So what's very, very interesting is the fact that now we're trying to say, oh, mixed people ain't black, they mixed. There's even some people out there that will be like, oh my God, well,
We never had a black president because Obama isn't black, he's mixed.
and I'm just like, the things that people will say with a fucking Twitter doctorate. Literally, the things that people say with a Twitter doctorate. Everybody got a Twitter doctorate, but nobody wants to have a mind of their own or wants to do their own type of research. Regardless of the fact, I feel like it's very disrespectful to denounce one's blackness, but I do understand where this comes from. The whole situation is literally forever, a lot of light-skinned people have discriminated against us. Mixed people have discriminated against us. So it's like one of those things where sometimes a lot of mixed people overcompensate. I know you guys know this, okay? We all know a mixed person that like literally only claims themselves as black. A lot of them do have to overcompensate or do overcompensate because they are disrespected all the time and they're not accepted to one group. So I feel like a lot of times they try to like, well, yeah, you know, down with the cause all damn day. And it's just like, can you take a seat? Because like a lot of us aren't even like that. Yeah, you know where I'm coming from, right? Like the thing is, we do want people to fight. We do want people to acknowledge. We do want people to basically say that they have a privilege and use that privilege for good. But sometimes it comes to a point where it's like, okay, are you pandering now? Like, do you just want to like use us? Like, I don't want to sound like that, but I have to say it because a lot of times that's really what it sounds like and what it feels like. Clearly, this is not all, but that's what it feels like. And all of a sudden, we see them doing something blatantly disrespectful to black people, and now we gotta cancel them. Like, it happens time and time again. However, it's just like one of those things where I feel like I kind of feel bad for them sometimes. It's like they kind of have an identity crisis. Black people are like, you're too white. White people are like, you're too black. And it's like they just stick there in the middle. And even at that, sometimes there's a lot of mixed people. Let's be real. Let's not be ignorant. There's a lot of mixed people that aren't even black and white. They're probably like Native American and Asian, and they still have that divide because they're either too dark to be Asian or they're too light to be Native American or whatever the case may be, and they're still in that middle. So I feel like a lot of mixed people do grow up with an identity crisis, and that becomes a whole problem within itself, and then there's colorism within that sector. Like literally, we could make like a million videos about colorism, and then we can branch it off to skin bleaching and texturism and featureism and a whole heap of other stuff. For the most part, colorism has always been used as a weapon, from days back in slavery to days present in 2021 that we are making this video. We see it in the media. We see it in just jobs and opportunities. We see it in school, even our own families and friends. We always get those comments. Well, if you're like me, you get the comments of,
Oh my God, I know it's hot outside, but why did it get so dark?
Ooh, Did you take a shower?
Just me. Yeah, I used to have people, honestly, I still get it. Like this past summer, I got like a mean ass tan because I used to be running outside because clearly the gyms were closed during this situation that we have going on. How ignorant can you be? I actually made a video about colorism in the Haitian community. I'm going to link that down below as well. Lots of disgusting things going on in colorism, period. Like I just can't stand it. Sadly, even though a lot of light-skinned people and a lot of mixed race people who are mixed with white and black are not this way, it fucks it up. One bad apple definitely does ruin the bunch, and that goes for everything across the board. Even with all of this I just told you guys, I have plenty of dark-skinned friends who will say they've never experienced colorism ever in their lives. This may sound crazy to y'all because at first I was like, what are you talking about? Like what? And I did have some that were like, you know what? Until I watched your videos, I never knew what colorism was. And now I know I have experienced it. And then I have friends that are like, oh, I watched it, never went through any of this. So you can chop it up to maybe they just didn't notice or maybe they genuinely didn't go through it. Nonetheless, I feel like it's very disrespectful to try to put situations on people. I've seen comments like this in other comment sections as well as my own. You're like, oh, well, maybe you just didn't take it that way, or maybe it did happen to you, you just didn't care, you just didn't notice. Don't put experiences on the people. If someone's experience is not their experience, it's not their experience. You can't force someone to feel something. You can't force someone to experience something. Something that someone went through is something that they went through. And that's that. If they tell you they didn't, then they didn't. You can't create a situation in their head. But I also feel like it's extremely disrespectful to sit there and be like, I didn't go through it, so that means it doesn't happen. It's all in your head. You know what? I drag people on this damn channel all the time for that shit, and it's so freaking irritating. Just because you're dark skinned and you were lucky enough never to have experienced colorism does not mean that it does not happen to other people. So don't do that shit because you're gonna get cursed the fuck out. Colorism affects so many people everywhere, from the internet to real life to everything. It's just really fucked up that people are only focusing on people's skin tone. Of course, we have the whole stereotypes of, oh, well, dark skins are more masculine and dark skinned women are more rowdy and ghetto. Light skinned women are more soft and feminine. Light skins are more beautiful. Lighter skin means lighter hair and lighter eyes. Upsetting, to be honest. Of course, a lot of this is stupid, disgusting, and most importantly, upsetting. But what I really can't stand about this is that there's people that co-sign this stuff. There's people that actually live by this. You know, let's be real. Let's listen to our music. You know, I want a yellow bone because she this. I don't want a dark skin because she that. We drag niggas on Twitter up and down for this. And it's crazy because we're in 2021. Okay, we're in the 20th century. And we still have people that think it's okay to make these types of comments. I understand. A lot of us are tired of hearing about, oh, colorism this, colorism that, what black people go through, what white people go through. We're tired. I get it. Whatever. Some of us are tired. Even sometimes I'm like, damn, I don't want to talk about this again. How many times do I have to drag a colorist? Like, it's annoying. But at the same time, the conversation does have to keep going. Today, there's going to be probably someone that comes across that information and gets something new out of it. There's going to be someone out there that probably never heard of colorism ever. And they'll come across this video. They'll come across that tweet. They'll come across the situation and be like, damn, I did not know that. Now, of course, all of this has fueled all of the nonsense that we see today. The skin bleaching, with the denouncing of blackness, and of course with the mixed baby fetish. While a lot of dark-skinned people get discriminated against, dark-skinned men in particular, well, currently, because I feel like this is just a trend right now, are extremely put on a pedestal. They're very, very up there. Meanwhile, dark-skinned women are like all the way down here. Like you can't even see them. It's really fucked up because people will praise dark-skinned men but then downplay dark-skinned women. I've definitely grown up and had like dudes tell me that I'm too dark for them, or you know, they only date light-skinned girls, they only date Hispanic girls, and they only date white girls, and I just sit there like, okay. I mean, clearly I would move on. It kind of annoyed me, but it never lingered for me. But for a lot of people, it's one of those things that really affects them growing up, like for their entire lives. Like clearly it upset me as a kid because I was a kid and damn, that's mean. But I never understood the concept of colors until I was getting older. A lot of people end up carrying this on their back.
I'm gonna marry a Hispanic person so my baby's gonna be nice skin with nice hair and nice eyes.
I'm gonna definitely find me a white man so that I can have some light-skinned babies.
Like, this shit really annoys me to the point where anytime I see some caca like this, I pray. Okay, I pray. I'll be like, I really hope these motherfuckers have a baby that's darker than the both of them because they want to be so damn ignorant and disgusting. Dark skin does not mean less worthy, does not mean less attractive, does not mean less anything. If you think that, there's something wrong with you and you need to fix that. Anyone that thinks that dark skin is not beautiful just because of that person's skin, then you're fucking disgusting. Okay? It's really insane how many people don't fucking pay attention in class. You know how many people I know who are mixed and don't look anything like the traditional, I guess, mixed person? Mixed people can be extremely dark skinned or extremely just white. Like they can just look white and you would never know they're mixed. Like y'all clearly ain't pay attention in biology or anything else for that matter to understand that concept. This is why I'm so happy when this happens to colorist people. I see it all the time. I'm like, yep, that's what you get. You wanted a motherfucking white man? Now look, your baby just as dark as you, if not darker. Now deal with that shit and instill the self-love in that child that you did not have growing up. Instill in that child that you're garbage and you created them out of malice for your own lack of inner fucking child. You piece of shit. Yo, I kid you not, it actually genuinely infuriates me when people sit there and they're like, oh, well, I'm purposely gonna go and have a baby with this type of person to have this type of child. It's disgusting. It's deplorable because it makes no logical sense. At that point, you're trying to say black is no good. Black is not great. You're basically trying to say light and white and bright is better. And actually, it's not. This is just fucking skin. That's it. We all have souls and we all have spirits that travel. When we die, we might go into another body. I believe in reincarnation. If you don't believe in it, you just die and you go on the ground. So who fucking cares what your skin color was? If you do believe in it, you would believe that you are just a spirit. You have no skin tone. So maybe in the next life, you'll be a white man. I think it's extremely ridiculous. It really is. And it's just horrible that a lot of people have to go through this. So if you're watching this and you've went through any problem in terms of people disrespecting you because of your skin tone, you are not your skin. You're not. You are you, but you are not where you are. You are where you are going. And as long as you push forward to push to the positive place that you are going, that's all that matters. As long as you always try, that's all that matters. As long as you never give up, that's all that matters. You never fail until you give up. You never, ever fail. I always tell people failure is not really a thing. For me, I don't believe in failure. All failure is progress, whether it's a failed relationship, a failed job interview, a failed whatever. None of that is failure unless you stop trying. You only fail when you give up. And never give up on yourself in your journey to self-love. Never give up on the idea that you will be something bigger than your thoughts. Never ever give up on the idea that you will propel yourself and become something greater than what other people may think about you. Because at the end of the day, what other people think about you is none of your business. What you think about you is what's important. And maybe the people that are the closest to you, maybe your parents. And even at that, sometimes some motherfuckers don't even care about their parents. Let's be real. A lot of us don't care about our parents. Okay? I love my parents. But you get the point. A lot of people don't care about their parents. So maybe they're not even important. Maybe they were never there for you. But you get the point. Your core people that are in your life, their opinions, if anything, should be the only ones that matter. But most importantly, listen to your own opinions about yourself. Don't let anybody take opportunities away from you. Someone doesn't give you a job because of your skin color, there's millions of other jobs out there. You can't find an opportunity, make the goddamn door. Someone wants to call you a black burnt biscuit, that's fine. You a damn good black burnt biscuit, full of seasoning, bitch. You taste good, bitch. You the shit, bitch. It doesn't matter. The people that talk shit about you, the people that disrespect you, hate themselves. So they're trying to bring yourself down in order to build themselves up. Don't you ever forget it. You are beautiful. You will always be beautiful. And no one can ever take that away from you. Only you can take that away from you. With that being said, let me know down in the comment section below. Have you experienced colorism? What do you think about colorism? Is this the first time you're hearing about it? Have you looked into it? Just let me know your thoughts on this video overall. What do you like? Share, subscribe, of course. Go to Exotic Butterflies and make a purchase. And I'm gonna see y'all next time. Of course, don't forget to comment down below. Y'all want a part 2 or not?